Starting off this video, we have Every Breath You Take by The Police. Honestly, I'm a big fan of The Police and Sting. Some of my favorite songs are Roxanne and Message in a Bottle, you know, the classics. So anyway, I'm sure you've heard of the song Every Breath You Take. Now honestly, I never thought too much of the song, I just thought it was a cute romance song. Well, turns out it is quite the opposite. Apparently Sting wrote the song after a bad breakup. So now if you listen to this song keeping that in mind, it sounds like he's just stalking his ex. Like, just listen to these lyrics. Every breath you take and every move you make, I'll be watching you. Every single day and every word you say, he'll be watching you. Like, now that's really creepy, so maybe think twice before playing that song at your wedding, just a suggestion. Moving on, at number 9 we have Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's right folks, our childhood nursery rhyme is much darker than you thought. So if you play the line, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are, backwards, it sounds like I wish there was no Allah. Allah in Arabic means God. So parents believed that it was going to cause their child to become an atheist or even a devil worshipper. Now this can only be heard in some versions of the song, and even then it still sounds a bit distorted, so I personally don't believe that was put there intentionally. But seriously, who discovered this? Are there just people spending their days listening to songs backwards trying to spark some kind of controversy? Next up at number 8 we have the song Eunuch Provocateur by Mars Volta. Now the name of the song alone is pretty disturbing honestly. And yeah, it's not like a positive, uplifting pop song, so what do you expect? Now towards the beginning of the song, in between an instrumental break, you can hear some sort of distorted voice. When played in reverse, it sounds like someone saying, "Did mommy and daddy ever hurt or spank you?" I have no clue why they incorporated this in the song. Maybe it was just like to hop on the backmasking trend, or maybe it truly does have a darker meaning. In our 7th spot we have the song Fire on High by Electric Light Orchestra. Now orchestra music is not typically that scary, but this song contained quite a creepy message. So at the beginning of the song there appears to be some sort of gibberish. People detected that it was a message and played it backwards. That's when they revealed that it said, "Music is reversible, but time is not. Turn back, turn back, turn back." The voice itself is very deep and heavy, giving it a creepier tone. Now, people tried to decipher this message. Some people think that he is warning about impending doom. And of course, you have the people that think everything is satanic. Well, parents were fearful because this soundtrack was used as the opening theme for CBS Sports and even at a ride at Seabreeze Amusement Park. Although it's creepy and we don't really know the exact meaning, I doubt we have anything to worry about. Right? Yeah. Moving on to number 6 we have 123 Red Light by 1910 Fruit Gum Company. Honestly, this song is said to be a classic childhood song for a bunch of individuals around the 1970s. Many people listened to this song and focused on the snazzy tune or catchy repetition of the line 123 Red Light. But apparently this song has an underlying message about date rape. What's scary is how this song was specifically targeted towards children and young teens. It is not a good song that they should be listening to at such a young age, especially when they are still developing and can easily be influenced. So when you listen to the lyrics, it says things like, "Every time I try to prove I love you, 123 red light, you stop me. Baby, you ain't right to stop me." Then it also says, "123 red light won't stop me. When I know I'm right, don't stop me, 123 red light." That makes me feel so sick. Like literally he's singing about trying to pursue a woman who doesn't want to engage in sexual activities. Even though she's rejecting him, he still won't stop because he thinks he's right and she's wrong for doing so. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Nebraska by Bruce Springsteen. Now this song is fairly heavy. The emotion in Springsteen's voice is very powerful, it's honestly beautifully sung. But unfortunately, what some people may not know is that it is actually about a serial killer by the name of Charlie Starkweather. When Charlie was just 19, he killed 11 people in Nebraska and Wyoming. There was no motive, it was just a relentless killing spree. The song has lyrics like, "Me and her went for a ride, sir, and 10 innocent people died," and "Through to the Badlands of Wyoming, I killed everything in my path." This is all true to what Charlie did. Suddenly, the harmonica moments in the song just sound a bit more creepier than normal. It's a very sad song once you listen to it with that in mind. Moving on, in our 4th spot, we have Dinner at the Deviant's Palace by Cradle of Filth. I mean, again, what did you expect? They're an extreme heavy metal band, and have said that they're inspired by gothic mythology, books, and horror films. They even wear upside down crosses. So I'm not surprised by this dark message hidden in their song. So this interesting song is the 8th track from their album Bittersweets to Succubi. So in the song, when it's played in reverse, you can hear a young boy reciting the Lord's Prayer. The young boy's voice is eerie with like a static effect over it. It sounds almost like he's possessed. Now, apparently, when a Lord's Prayer is recited backwards, it can be used to summon demons. So maybe be careful next time you choose to listen to this song. You might receive more than you bargained for. In our third spot, we have Hate Your State by Choking Victim. Now, Choking Victim is a punk rock band with songs like Born to Die, No Gods, and In My Grave. So obviously their music is going to be more darker and involve more mature subject matter. Now, in their song, Hate Your State, there's a whole secret paragraph that they included. This message is inserted at the beginning of the song and at first just sounds like the singer is struggling to speak as if he's choking. So some people just overlooked it, thinking it was an artistic choice. However, other individuals knew that a message was hidden there, so when played backwards, it says, "You think you are alive, MF? You're just the walking effing dead. You're stepping on my back to stay alive. West Coast, East Coast, you're all a bunch of effing fools." Then it tells the listener to kill themselves and hail Satan. But then it ends with him saying, "Good night boys and girls, pleasant dreams." So I guess that's sweet, I don't know. But seriously, I know they're a more hardcore band, but that message is a little too scary. At number 2, we have Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. Now, believe me, when this one is played in reverse, it sounds more like it should have been titled Stairway to Hell. Now, this song in particular is different from the rest. It is shown that the whole thing in reverse has tons of hidden messages, not just one line, the whole song. So throughout the reversed version of the song, you can hear him say things like, "Here's to my sweet Satan," or "All my life will end for him," or even, "Oh, I will never be saved because I lived with Satan." And this isn't the first time Led Zeppelin has been accused of backmasking dark messages. Now, in the forward version of the song, he even says the line, "'Cause you know, sometimes words have two meanings." This is what led people to believe there was a hidden message in the song. So, some individuals believe that he is trying to recruit people into Satanism. What supported their theory is that the guitarist Jimmy Page bought a home from Aleister Crowley. Now, Aleister is known to try and have his followers learn to read and speak backwards. Coincidence? But either way, the satanic messages are pretty creepy. And in our number 1 spot, we have Big Hoops by Nelly Furtado. Now, Nelly Furtado is a Portuguese-Canadian singer-songwriter known for her songs like I'm Like a Bird and Turn Off the Light. Now, she isn't one to typically spark controversy, but this next song has people thinking that she's part of the Illuminati. Now, towards the end of her song, Big Hoops, you hear her say, "It's not over yet." And then some inaudible sounds. It seemed like nothing big until it was played backwards. That's when you can clearly hear her say, "Oh my god, descending to the 13th floor. We're on the 11th floor, descending to the 12th floor." And then it repeats. There is something about this one that just makes me feel so uncomfortable. Like, her voice is just so eerie in it. There's just something so off about it, and her voice just gives me the goosebumps. Now, 13th floors are thought to be unlucky, and most buildings don't even have a 13th floor. And then throughout the music video, she does the Illuminati symbol. She makes a triangle with her fingers and places it to her eye. She does this multiple times throughout the video. So, people believe that she sold her soul to the Illuminati or that she's involved with them somehow. People furthered this theory by even adding up all the numbers she said and doing more research. Then they came to the conclusion that it all added up to 666, the devil's number. Now, that one is kind of reaching. Like, I too could make up some bogus math equation like, oh, she has 2 eyes and she's wearing 4 bracelets, so that makes 6 and her favorite number is 6. So you see, like, I could just make it up too. So that probably just was a coincidence, but the reverse message just really creeps me out.
Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have Blessings by Big Sean featuring Drake and Kanye West. At a first glance, this song is just a moment where all the rappers can take a step back and reflect on being grateful for everything they have and everything that they have achieved. But we really get the hidden dark message when we watch the music video for the song. In the video, there are a lot of Illuminati references and symbolism. Whether or not you think that this is their admission to being a part of the Illuminati is up to you, but let me show you the imagery that I'm talking about. The video starts off with Big Sean walking on clouds, and then he begins confessing to a priest who is played by himself. This is a reflection of one of the most prevalent principles of the Illuminati, that they are all gods. To push this even further, Drake flashes the 666 hand, which shows his approval of the Antichrist. We then see Big Sean on a staircase, which is homage to the Freemasonry's Jacob's Ladder, and his arms are also stretched out, which is to mimic Jesus on the cross. It is no shock to us as listeners that these guys are full of themselves, but it is kind of shocking to see just how much.
Coming at number 9, we have Stan by Eminem. I mean, right off the bat, we know that Stan is a pretty controversial song. It's about a superfan who loses his mind and gives everything up to try and get closer to Eminem. This guy abuses his girlfriend, follows Eminem from show to show, and writes him letters non-stop to try and get his attention. The term Stan has stemmed from this song. For those of you who don't know what that means, when you support something wholeheartedly. Now, even though there are the very obvious signs that this song is dark, with the Stan superfan dying at the end of the song, there is a part in the music video where Stan puts his pregnant girlfriend into the trunk of the car. Now, some people think that this is reference to Eminem's song Kim, where he raps about doing the same thing to his ex-girlfriend. People think that with multiple references from songs that this might have actually happened in real life, or it could just have been a dark fantasy. And guys, make sure that you like this video, it really helps us out.
Coming in at number 8, we have Kings Never Die by Eminem. It is pretty unsurprising that Eminem has 2 tracks that made it onto this list. In the song, he talks about his anger towards other whack rappers, critics, and ignorant fans who spew hate when they don't really know what they're talking about. But at one point in the song, he talks about how he would sell his soul to the devil in order to remain on top of the rap game. He then goes on to discuss, while he loves rap and the music, he hates fame and how he has had to make a lot of personal sacrifices in his life because of it. It is his passion and the only thing he's done for the last 30 years, so it can't be easy to just quit and leave the game altogether.
Coming in number 7, we have Changes by Tupac, one of the greatest hits to come from one of the greatest artists of all time. Changes is a song that highlights the struggle of growing up black in America, growing up in a world where you come out of the womb poor, your parents barely have enough money to buy you anything, and you have to rob and steal just to eat. About how racism towards you will keep pushing you down and how hard it is to get out of the ruthless cycle. In the song, he says, "I wake up in the morning and ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself?" Honestly, this is one of the first public figures in the black community to start openly talking about mental health. And the song is about how things never change and about how the system is made to keep you in the same spot and keep the struggle real.
In our number 6 spot today, we've got Kill Jay-Z, which is surprisingly by Jay-Z. This is the first song on the album 444. The song is mostly about the killing of his ego and a reflection on his past mistakes and how he handled them, but there are a few dark moments hidden in this song. One is right at the beginning when he talks about shooting his drug-addicted brother when he was only 12 years old for stealing his jewelry. Luckily, his brother was fine and didn't end up pressing charges, but it's really sad that he was in this situation to begin with. Jay-Z also talks about his father leaving his family at a young age and how that hurt him, and he had to build up a wall in order to protect himself from feeling that kind of hurt again. But now, as an adult, he's had to work on tearing down those walls in order to be there and be vulnerable for his own children. He then goes on to talk about a moment from 1999. On December 2nd of that year, Jay was at a release party for Q-Tip's debut album, Amplified. Before the party, there was bootleg copies of Jay-Z's upcoming album floating all throughout the hip-hop world. At the party was Lance Un Rivera, who was a music producer, and it was rumored that he may have had something to do with the leak of Jay's new album. After a confrontation at the party quickly turned into a physical altercation, Jay-Z ended up stabbing Lance. He later turned himself in, and while he was facing a possible 15-year sentence, he ended up with only 3 years of probation.
Coming in number 5, we have Kendrick Lamar's Swimming Pool. Some people think that the song Swimming Pools could be about someone losing their mind. I always thought that it was just about getting lit and having a good time. But in the music video of the song, we see a bunch of bottles fall from the sky and shatter on the ground. Now, this wasn't the boys celebrating because they just smashed another 26er, but apparently this is supposed to represent someone's mind breaking. There's also a line where he says, "Now open up your mind and listen." This could be showcasing someone with schizophrenia being communicated with from someone inside their own mind.
In our number 4 spot today, we have D-Rugs by Cam'ron. This song is about children whose parents choose a life of drugs over them. The song starts off with Cam'ron just speaking the intro, and he says, "Remember parents, kids don't ask to be born," which is a really strong but sad start to what is a dark song with an important message. In the song, he refers to the drugs as a girlfriend or boyfriend that the parents are choosing. He talks about his mom being addicted to cocaine and seeing her do the drugs and watching her addiction and dependence grow. It's really sad to think about how many children have to witness this sort of thing. Seeing your parent constantly in this kind of altered state and feeling helpless. Cameron then goes on to talk about how, with his mother's boyfriend always being around, he started to get acquainted with the drugs as well and goes on to begin selling. In the third verse, he talks about his mom being jealous of his relationship with the drugs and how he gains money from it while she pays to see him. The song ends with him explaining that his mom had to be hospitalized because of an overdose and that they both ended up arrested. The last line of the rap is, "But that's what we get, fucking with drugs," which I think ends it off pretty perfectly.
Coming in at number 3, we have Nicki Minaj, Only. Now it's time to step out of the lyrical speculations and into symbolism. It's no surprise that people have linked the Illuminati to the rap game. There are a ton of people who think that the music video for Only is about the Illuminati using mind control devices on people, that they have the perfect technology that allows them to take over people's minds, and that they will be using it to crack into our subconscious and suck out your soul, morphing you into a new person. This comes from the people trapped in nets in the music video, the two pillars standing on either side of Chris Brown that are supposed to represent light and darkness, and the butterfly in the music video that is a symbol of change, when someone morphs from their normal self into a mind-controlled being. The only thing I don't get about this is if I was in the Illuminati, why would I put hints in rap music videos? Shouldn't I just keep all my plans secret and keep taking over the world?
At number 2 on the list today, we have A Baltimore Love Thing by 50 Cent. We all know 50 Cent as the rapper who famously got shot 9 times, but in this 2005 track, he really hits us with a harsh reality. After a first listen, this song sounds like a love song, but it is really 50 rapping from the point of view of the world's most addictive drug, heroin. Heroin is very ingrained in the world of entertainment, but it is just as ingrained in the heroin capital of the United States, Baltimore, Maryland. One of the harshest lines in the song is, "If you give birth, I'll already be in love with your kids." This is in reference to the fact that if a mother is doing heroin during pregnancy, not only is there a chance that she could lose the pregnancy, but there is also a chance that the baby will be born with the drugs in their system, causing them to have to go through a very painful withdrawal. Near the end of the song he says, "And we'll be hand in hand when we walk through those pearly gates, and to see to that, I'ma do whatever it takes." This is 50's way of describing how the drug will do everything to take over your life until it ultimately leads to your death.
And coming at the number 1 spot, we have Kevin Gates' XXL 2014 Cypher. In this song, Kevin Gates says, "Killed my brother, so I took him from his family. When I got some tears tattooed on my face, now I'm branded." You might have let this one slip by you, but apparently Kevin Gates' brother was killed by a gang member, and he wasn't going to take this lying down. Gates found the guy who took his brother's life and took him out himself. He wasn't going to wait for the police to get involved. This was personal. The tattoos on his face represent that he committed murder, and some people think that he could be affiliated with some gangs. That is a bold move to put that into a song. This guy is really putting everything out in the open. Didn't Bobby Shmurda go to jail for the exact same thing? Maybe this is past the statute of limitations. I'm not really sure how the law works. I didn't know you could use rap lyrics to put someone in jail, but apparently that's something that can totally happen. Coming in at number 10, we have I Can't Feel My Face, The Weeknd. Big shout out to The Weeknd for being one of the biggest artists to come out of Canada. He was even in that movie with Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. That dude is blowing up. And his song I Can't Feel My Face was a huge hit. At first everyone thought the song was about a guy who was madly in love with some lady. He's saying things like, "I can't feel my face when I'm with you," and everyone thought, "Oh, that's so cute, he's smiling all the time because he likes her so much." And then he also says, "I know she'll be the death of me, but at least we're both numb." And people thought, oh, that sounds a little morbid, but it's also kind of cute in a razzing your partner kind of way. And then people started to put the pieces together as to what will make your face numb and also lead to your death, and they're like, oh, the song's about cocaine. That's what the song is about, yeah. Yeah, once everyone got to the bottom of this song, it wasn't so sweet anymore. And the evidence of this song being about The Weeknd's love for cocaine is backed up by the many other songs where he references cocaine. The dude really loves cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
In our number 9 spot today, we have Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. Pumped Up Kicks rose to fame in 2011 as a catchy indie pop tune, but it hides a pretty gruesome message. The song was originally released online as a free download and helped the band gain a multi-record deal with Columbia Records. The songwriter Mark Foster wanted the lyrics to reflect the thoughts of an extremely troubled and homicidal teen. Mark saw a trend in the rising mental illness rates among teens and wanted to bring awareness to the issue. Music is definitely a super smart way to try and get through to teens and young adults, and the song did just that as it spent 8 consecutive weeks at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Although it's easy to get lost in the upbeat melody of the music, when you listen to the lyrics you really get the true message of the song.
And guys, don't forget to hit that like button, it helps us out a lot. Coming in number 8, we have Poker Face by Lady Gaga, one of the best Gaga songs to ever come out, and this lady has some smash hits, so you know that's saying something. Now, Poker Face sounds like she's hiding who she really is from the public, which is what the song is about, but I don't think many fans know how deep this actually goes. When Lady Gaga says Poker Face, she's actually talking about the fact that she's bisexual, and at the time of this song, she didn't feel comfortable or safe coming out about who she really was on the inside. That's a huge bummer. Everyone should be able to go out there and be themselves. But I would say that Poker Face has a dark hidden message because it highlights the struggle that a lot of people have to go through with their sexuality. Lady Gaga has even said in interviews that some of the inspiration for this song was when she would be making love to her past boyfriends and she would think about ladies. I hope that none of her past boyfriends saw that because that would be a major hit to the ego. It would be pretty hard to feel pretty in the morning after you hear that news.
In our number 7 spot today, we have Some Nights by Fun. This absolute banger came to us in 2012 and quickly became a favorite go-to song on a night out. But what is the song really saying? Some Nights is about the band's creative struggle in their quest for success. It's the eternal fight about staying true to your original vision as opposed to selling out in order to get your music heard by more people. A lot of the lyrics reflect the story of wanting to be someone else for the night, which really shows the band's wrestle to figure out what the best course of action for them is. I think the band did an amazing job at figuring out a way to stay true to themselves while also releasing a song that hit number 3 on the chart for 6 weeks.
Coming in at number 6, we have If You Seek Amy, Britney Spears. Some people watching this video are too young to remember what it was like growing up in the tidal wave of fame that was Britney Spears. She was an absolute legend. It was smash hit after smash hit. Everyone thought she was a rocket, and every last thing she did was in the news. Not to mention her music was everywhere and formed a generation. There was more Britney Spears played at grade school dances than hot dogs devoured by Joey Chestnut in his lifetime.
The 2020 men's division of the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest.
It's been something else to get this off the ground, and I hope that MLE's been able to help our peers.
Well, if you say the title of this song slowly, what does it sound like? If You Seek Amy. Doesn't sound like a song about finding a girl named Amy, I'll tell you that. It sounds like the song is about sex. Well, it turns out that the song is about neither. The song is about how Britney was always under the watchful eye of the media and how everyone was trying to steal a piece of her for their own benefit, which is really sad to think about when you look at how young she was when she started to deal with all of this.
At number 5 today we have Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. Although the opening lines of this song are about the lead singer John Gourley's daughter Frances, it quickly turns into a socio-political statement. The inspiration for the chorus lyrics, "I'm a rebel just for kicks now," came from George Carlin and his distrust for politicians, as well as Bernie Sanders having to run as a Democrat. The lyrics are a way of expressing how the band feels about the way the American political system is set up, explaining that they feel as though choosing between presidential candidates is like football teams. If you're not cheering for one team, you have to be cheering for the other.
Coming at number 4, we have Total Eclipse of the Heart, Bonnie Tyler. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you never come around. You can't play the song without having everyone in the room getting into it. This is one of the best karaoke bangers of all time. Every time I hear this song, I picture myself with some glam metal hair standing in a moonlit window as wind blows on my open shirt. But even though the song sounds like it's about two people falling in love and never letting go, it has a little bit of a dark twist. The song's composer said that the original title was supposed to be called Vampire's Love because it's about two vampires falling in love in darkness, about how the power of love can push through everything, even when it seems like there's no hope, which isn't a metaphorical meaning of darkness. just like in most of the other points on this list, but a literal meaning of darkness. The song is literally about vampires being in the dark and making out. I added the making out part, but they're in love, so they're probably doing some smooching.
Number 3 today we have Chandelier by Sia. Whether you know this song for Sia's huge vocals, the catchy chorus, or the gorgeous music video that features the amazing Maddie Ziegler from Dance Moms,
ambitious, raw.
it's no doubt that you've belted this one out at some point or another. I can admit that I had no idea this song was about Sia's previous struggle with drug and alcohol addiction. Although she's been sober for years, she recounts the feelings of not being in control and a lack of concern for her future. It's unfortunate that Sia had to endure these struggles, but I am super happy for her being able to overcome her addictions and live a sober life.
Coming at number 2, we have Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight. This song has one of the most famous drum solos of all time. People loved it, the build-up is huge. The song recently went viral because there's a younger generation who has never heard the song and they're just finding out how fire it is. Well, for a long time people thought that the song was about Phil Collins seeing someone drowning in a pool and another person just walking by and not helping them. That's already super dark. Well, it turns out that there's a little extra layer of emotional trauma added to this song. Apparently the song is actually about Mr. Collins' divorce from his wife and how much anger and hatred he felt at the time. My god, this whole point has been an emotional roller coaster.
And at number 1 today we have Love Song by Sarah Bareilles. At a first listen, this song sounds like an anti-love song. With a catchy chorus and bright melody, it seems as though this song is Sarah's confident exit from an old relationship. But this song is actually a message to her record label. At the time of recording, Sarah's record label was pressuring her to write certain kinds of music with other songwriters. The process of trying to co-write the music was making her feel uninspired and stifled in a time where she was still trying to find her own creative process and identity. Out of that frustrating situation came the song that ended up spending 19 weeks in the top 10 on the charts. So maybe it was all worth it.